Hey guys, this is Hell Hades. This is another Raid Shadow Legends video. Guys, we have just been doing the fragment summon for Drokgul the Gaunt. There's actually been a note in Discord this morning. For those who don't follow Discord, I'll bring it up for you now just to read it. But basically, let me pull this around here. It says here, happy Monday. There's been loads of issues with the server, all that type of stuff, loads of lag, maintenance, blah, blah, blah. We know it's hard for you to complete these events in the first place. The server issues make this process even harder. Yes, it does. Thus, we decided to add some more fragments to 2 upcoming events, so you've got more chance to collect the needed number. Good, good. I see a lot of middle fingers. I guess people are just hacked off with the amount of maintenance, which is fair enough. We've added some more fragments to the champion training event and the next champion chase. Why couldn't they do it to something that wasn't summoning? Both start tomorrow. Hope you stay healthy, blah, blah, blah. Okay, so they giveth and they taketh away. If they didn't do it for a champion chase, champion training, okay, that's cool. But a champion chase, I mean, poor move. Poor move. Anyway, this video is going to be about a second look at this champion. I did a guide on this guy, or like a first look on someone else's account when he first came out. Just to give people a heads up, is he worth your time? Is he worth collecting those fragments for? What I've done is I've pulled my own, I've geared in myself, and we're going to have a second look. Now, in my first video, I put him in a big shield set. First off, that didn't feel like it worked. The shields that drop off from shield set don't activate his abilities. I then put him in a high HP build to try and create big shields. That didn't do any favors for us at all. The main thing that's cool about this guy is that he's the only champion in the game that gives increased attack and increased defense for all allies at the same time. So you can run all types of champions except HP and give them valuable increased damage. So that's the only thing that I really like about his kit. He does, though, have this shield ability on his A3. When those shields expire or are broken by an enemy attack, he heals allies whenever the shield comes off. So if the shield comes off in any way, he will heal his team. That part of it, I like. The second part, though, allies whose shield buffs are broken will also counterattack. And the big hope for this guy was that he might be able to be like the next type of counter-attacker in Clan Boss, perhaps really valuable in Faction Wars, perhaps very valuable in the arena. Now, I couldn't get this to work in my original build, so what I've done is I've built him this time round to have much lower HP, 36k HP, so when he puts his shield out, which is 15% of his health, so 36k, 15% of that is like 3, 4.5, 5k or so. 5k shield. When that breaks, we'll be getting counterattacks off. That's the aim. So I want to see if he can be pretty funky in the arena, pretty funky in Clan Boss. I did try him out on Faction Wars last night. I've got to be honest, he still didn't rock my world on Faction Wars. So at the moment, I am literally like, glass is really half full right now with this guy. He's sitting low in my tier list. We're going to play him in a few areas where I didn't play him first time round with a different build and see if we can make him work. Because we're going to run him in Clan Boss, we've gone with a kind of pretty standard Clan Boss set of masteries here for someone who doesn't need accuracy. So that's a cool thing about him as well. He doesn't need accuracy for his build. He does have a stun on his A1. I would forget that he's got a stun on his A1 and just build him for the support play that he does. So we've gone with War Master, we've gone with War Master kind of build here, and then with a defensive tree, which kind of allows him to soak up some of your team's damage and allows a counterattack if someone loses a bunch of health. So let's get into how I've actually geared him then. This time round, I've gone for defensive items. Defense, resistance. I did resistance actually because I thought that could be quite a cool play on Faction Wars. I did take him into the boss, level 21 Faction Wars. I think he could do some work there for you, but you know, I've got Man-Eaters as well. Man-Eater was easily the better choice for me. I've gone for speed. I pretty much looked for gear that had no HP bonuses at all. Defensive chest, defensive boots, no HP again. Just speed, speed, speed. Speed and defense is what I've gone for. So I'm trying to get back to his abilities as quick as I can so that we get that shield rotating back as quick as possible. I don't have him fully booked. I don't have enough books, and I'm not going to buy books for this guy. I don't feel like he's worth me spending the money at the moment. Maybe we'll change our minds. So the team I'm going to try and with in Faction Wars, not Faction Wars, in Fireknights is going to be War Maiden, dropping our defense. She's in a stun set. Relatively quick, good accuracy to land a stun. She's got quite a lot of defense so that she stays alive. We've got Soul Bond, who is in a stun set as well. She's got a good AoE on her A1 to get some stuns off. She is a little bit slower. She's got some good crit rate. She's got some accuracy. I need her to land her turn meter drop ability. We've got an Apothecary, mainly because he's got a multi-hit A1 and for the speed. And then we are going to run a Cold Heart as well, who is actually well built. She's in my main team, so she's going to be well built. She has got Relentless Gear, and she has got high speed, good accuracy, good amount of crit. So that's going to be the 5. Now, he might well be a really good Fireknight champion, in fairness. Like, if you can break that shield and get away your abilities with this guy, then, you know, that's actually pretty positive here. So he's got an HP in all battles aura, which is not bad. If you're lacking an aura for your teams, I'd rather have my defense aura that Apothecary brings. But we've basically got 2 champs that drop turn meter. We've got a drop defense. We've got some damage. We're hoping that he's going to give us some shielding and counterattacks. The only negative affinity is Apothecary, and he is built to be relatively tanky and fast. So let's see how this runs. This for me is going to be his best dungeon if he's got one. This is the best one I can think that he'd come up with. He starts off with his increased attack and defense, which is not a bad way to start. We get a couple of stuns off there with our team. So at the moment we're not taking any damage, which is good because we don't really want to take too much damage. And actually we're just getting stuns off for days. So at the moment the shields are not needed. Obviously, the worse your gear is, the more likely those shields will be needed, and the more likely they're going to be whacking stuff off you. So, at the moment with this team, 4 rares. They actually are rares this time. 1 legendary. All pretty well geared, but not in... All pretty well geared. They're not in insane gear, but they're pretty well geared. So, is it time to get a shield up? No, no shields yet. Couple of stuns. So, we're actually in danger zone because... I guess because I don't have him booked. Like, by now we should have got a shield on if I had him booked up. Got our increased attack away. Here's our shields. Okay, so are we going to take any hits, and are we going to actually lose our shields and get counters off? I feel like we're just outrunning our shields, quite frankly. So... at this stage, it's not really needed. For most of you guys, though, that don't have my gear, I'd imagine by now you probably would have had to have dropped a couple of shields. But nothing he's doing here is bad, by the way. So far, so good. Like shielding, increased attack, all that stuff is all good. So let's see what happens when we start to actually take some damage from this guy, which is coming. And this guy should hit through our shields. So we've got 4 shields up. He's whacked through all of them. Here's the counter. So this is probably the best thing you're going to see from his kit. And it is significant. It is significant because it enabled that Heartseeker right there. That Heartseeker would not have come if it wasn't for those shields. So at this point, we're hoping to get back round to more abilities which drop turn meter. There's one of them. So I've got to say, if you do not have... someone that's kind of helping you through your Fireknights already, this guy is actually up there with a Fellhound, up there with, you know, any of the champions that kind of enable shield breakage. To be fair, I'd go as far to say he's pretty top tier. All shields broken again. We're whacking through the shields, and this is the best I've seen him perform in any area of the game by a mile. We've still not done a quick run, but then, we're running with a bunch of rares who really, there's only Cold Heart that's in any sort of gear that's doing damage. So that is positive. That's positive. I think we've got to give him something. He can play there. When I ran him in Faction Wars last night, because the Faction War level 21 boss isn't so much a kind of massive damage dealer, those counterattacks aren't really what you need. You need more champions with stuff like block debuffs and protection, like your man-eaters and turn meter stuff. He's actually wasn't that strong for me, but certainly in other areas of Faction Wars, if you're trying to get there, you're trying to get through the waves, again, those shields and counterattacks are kind of okay. Let's try him in Clan Boss next. So when I tried this first time round, the feedback was, don't run him high HP, run him low HP but high defense. I totally get it. As soon as I saw the comments, I was like, that does make sense. So instead of putting a big shield out there that the Clan Boss tries to hit through, actually put a smaller shield out, and then the Clan Boss should break that shield earlier into the fight, and you should start to see the benefits of that. So totally get it. Good effort, guys. So we're going to run a comp which is going to be Razin. In Lifesteal gear, we're going to run Sepulchre. So Razin will give us decreased defense and weaken. We're going to run Sepulchre, who is going to give us decreased attack. We're going to run Grush, who can give us some just some Lifesteal, a leech. So that's 1, 2, 3, and then we're going to run someone like a Frozen Banshee. Do I have a Frozen Banshee built? I think I do. Frozen Banshee, not quite built. I'll finish her off, and then I'll get her into the fight as well. So basically, we've got a Razin who's dropping defense and weaken, decrease attack. The Gaunt is going to be the equivalent of our counter-attacker. So do we have a counter-attack option with this guy? Similar to what you might have with a Skull Crusher. That's the idea. Okay, I'm just going to run this team then. So we've got Grush, Frozen Banshee. Everybody is in like high defense, high speed, high accuracy. We're in good builds here. Strong builds, not weak builds. Good builds right across the board. So this should be a team that can do some work on Ultra Nightmare. Now, let me just do a bit of setup so that we get Sepulchre running at the right setup. So we're going to put our increased attack and defense on first. He's not going to get his shield broken on turn 1. That's just never going to happen. So we may as well just get some damage going to start with. Save that for another turn. We can get shields out here. Get our healing going as well. And some poisons going. So we're not going to get the shields broken on turn 1. Let's get this up now and then hit auto. So the idea with this is we should get our shields start to be broken, hopefully by the second big AoE of the second wave. Did I put my thing up at the wrong time? Must have done. Hopefully that will cycle back around and we'll start to get that blocked on the next round. So we've got decreased defense on, decreased attack on, all of that's working fine. We're already taking like a reasonable amount of damage here. Next stun should be blocked, yeah. Shields are up now. Okay, so we're at turn count 6. We're basically into the third main set of AoEs. Do we start to get our abilities countering now? Countering on 1, 2 on the third set. So if you think about a standard counter-attack champion, you get one full set of counters on the first AoE. You get a second full set of counters on the second AoE. So basically what you're getting is, with most counter-attack champions, at least an additional 8 hits per full rotation of Clan Boss. With this guy, you miss the first 2 complete counters because even on a low HP build, we're not getting any counter-attacks off, okay? So you miss the first 2. You then have to wait until the third full set of rotations. And at that point, which is this point here, you get 1 additional kind of set of counters. Now, for me, it's weaker than Ally attack, it's weaker than counter attack. Both of those by like a mile. But I guess it's the next best thing. The question you've got to ask yourself is, for those additional counter attacks that you get, would just having another champion in the mix just give you more value? And I think the answer is yes, it would. So for me, this guy kind of stays bottom of the pile in terms of, champion support, availability, quality. He will do some work for you on Faction Wars. He will do some work for you on Clan Boss, but nowhere near what you would hope he does, which it's just not ideal. So he's actually gone down there because we didn't have decreased attack on, which, that's a really early time to go down as well. So yeah, I don't know, guys. I think Fireknights, tick. He could be a champion that's going to help you on Fireknights. And, if you're really struggling with that dungeon and you're struggling with someone that's going to help you get additional attacks off, then yeah, I'd say he's actually as good as most champions in the game for Fireknights. But for anywhere else in the game, I still stand by my original kind of my original verdict, which is he needs a buff. He needs a buff. He needs something different. I tell you what, let's try him in the arena. We've seen him. We've seen what he can do here. Let's try him in the arena and see if we can do something interesting there. So I've got him running fast, yeah? He's running fast, so he should be able to go early enough in my arena setup to do some work. So let's just change him up for him. And then we'll just have a big AoE hitter coming in here. So the idea is you're trying not to necessarily you still need to go first. This is a silly thing with him. Like, you need to go first to get your shield up for someone to then be able to knock it off. Now, Madame, if I didn't have a sleep right here, Madame's knocking that straight off anyway. She's just going to burn it off. So, and that is not going to activate your counter. So all we're waiting really for is the hope that Skullcrown here slams us. We counter attack with everyone because the shields get knocked off, and then we do a load of work. Now, if you're in a position where you can go first and get that shield up anyway, you're just better off. I suppose you get a block damage here. You're just better off going first and nuking someone instead of relying on putting that shield up. I just don't see that he's really got a place in the arena. I just don't see it. The only way he gets that shield up is if he goes first, and by the time you've gone first, you probably should have won the fight anyway. So unless you are low level, like if my free-to-play was able to get him, and I played him free-to-play, then maybe at that level of arena, he would do some work for me. But I just feel like, I don't know, guys. I feel like still my original verdict was on, apart from I didn't test him in Fireknights. And for Fireknights, with this type of build, I think he can do some work. Faction Wars with this type of build, he might help you get through it. Because the faction is actually quite tough to do with Ogden Tribes. But still, if I check my tier list, he is, for me, down near the bottom of the tier list. Tell me I'm wrong, guys. Tell me somewhere where I've got it wrong. At the moment, I've got him as a 3 for Clan Boss. That is generous. That's generous. A 2, a 3 for Dragon. I feel like that's pretty generous. A 3 for Spider. If you use him as a shield champion, it's probably generous as well. I've got him as a 4 for Fireknight. Maybe that should be a 5. Everywhere else is kind of 2s. I'm going to bring this one down to a 2 as well, because I feel like that was over the top. So, bottom 10. Tell me I'm wrong. Tell me what I've done wrong, and I will listen. But for me, bottom 10 champion, even at second look, I don't get it. I've been Hell Hades. Enjoy your new champion. I'll catch you later.